Hello and welcome into the Piles of Paragraphs creative space. I'm Lori and today I'm going to start my new series for the month of August, which is Assemble. And I think mostly I'm going to focus on, or at least the plan at this point, I'm going to mostly focus on creating journal covers. So today I'm going to show you kind of a different way to do a hardcover with a soft spine. I had some requests for me to show you how to do this since I did this on my tea dunked journal when I assembled it. Now I will start off by saying probably a much easier way to do this is if you have some brown paper tape. I have brown paper tape somewhere, but I could not locate it. So I took some of the packing paper that comes in Amazon packages, and I doubled it over and glued it with some PVA adhesive because PVA stays flexible and is really easy to use. So I just spread some on there with my little little makeup oh good heavens, makeup applicator. Sorry guys, I will try to get my mouth in gear before I do too much more of this. Okay, so I have my book cover that I have trimmed the spine out of, and let me just trim up a little bit more of the paper here. I did part of this with scissors and part of this with the box cutter, and I was not super successful getting it super cleaned up, but this will work fine, I think. Okay, this is kind of a not a really big book cover, but I was trying to get something that would fit easily within the camera range here. So this one is like slightly less than 7 and about 5.5. So not that that matters. Whatever size book cover you have, you can certainly use. I made my strips kind of extra wide because I wanted to, I think I'm going to put a lot in this particular cover. So I made them, it's right at about 4 inches wide. So I will line these up using the grid underneath my little mat here. Let me make sure that that's actually in camera range. Okay, good. Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna overlap it by, probably a good 1/2 inch, maybe a little bit more. It doesn't matter. You know, whatever width spine you want, you can certainly make it to fit. Okay. So it's important to get these pretty straight. And I'm going to use art glitter glue to adhere these just because it dries quickly and it sticks pretty darn well. So I'm going to go ahead and put my art glitter glue down here, trying not to do what I just did, which is move that around more. Let me get this on here. And be fairly generous with the art glitter glue because we want it to adhere. Although I am going to put fabric over this when I'm done, so there'll be yet another layer to help hold it down. So let's see, let me move that one for a second and line that up on the line here. And let me line this up here so that's straight. Like I said, using tape would be a simpler process. But try as I might, I could not find any of the 4 rolls of brown paper tape that I know I have. Of course, you know, I know what I did. I put it all together. And I moved it from the spot that it had been sitting in for the last year, and I don't remember where I put it. I'm certain at the time I thought that was a good idea, but well, I know why I did it. I moved it off. I had it sitting in the back of this table, and I was afraid I'd knock it down. Okay, so let's this on here. Pretty straight. Give it a good push down. And now I think just to add a little bit extra strength to the part of the cover that bends the most, I've got some, oh, what is this called? Oh, masking tape that I think will work well, and it's easy to tear. I'm going to make it a little bit longer than the cover, and I'll come back and trim it. But I think I also want to put some art glitter glue down here and along here, just to make sure that it adheres well, because I've had this tape for a while. And, you know, with our Arizona summers, adhesives don't always, especially tape, does not always survive well here. Put that down there. And like I said, that's just to add a little bit extra strength to the joint. Oops. Okay, if you're using masking tape, be careful with your fingernails so you don't split it, because that kind of defeats the purpose. Down there. That's on there well. We'll do this side. And this is really not a traditional approach to binding the book, but I believe it will work quite well. I also usually use a piece of Tyvek on my spine when I do them, but I didn't have any when I was at my retreat, so when I did my my tea dunk journal, I did not use it, so I'm not going to use it this time either. Put this in here. And this may not be the method you want to use if you want something to last for, you know, generations, but I think it's going to be pretty sturdy. So, put that in here. Okay. Let's pick this up just so I can trim my masking tape. Snip that off there. Snip this off there. And that the art glitter glue did adhere quite well to the cover. Of course, this cover is not shiny at all. If your cover's shiny at all, you might want to maybe sand it just a little bit to give it a little more tooth, but I think we're good with this. Okay, so I have this piece to add, and I will do this one a little bit at a time. Like I said, you can also put a piece of Tyvek in here. You could also put another piece of fabric in here if you want another layer, but I'll have a layer on the inside, a layer on the outside, so I don't think I'm going to need it. I also have some of the tape like you get at the hospital that would fit in here, and that would add a little bit extra strength to it too if you feel you need it. Like I said, I think I'm going to be good just like I am. So I'm going to line this up And I'm going to do kind of one side at a time, just so that my glue doesn't dry out. So my air conditioner is, of course, running because, you know, I imagine it's probably already 100 degrees outside. Oops. Yes, be careful. Be careful with pointy things around the masking tape. And you can also always put another layer of masking tape in there too. But if you use brown packing tape, usually it's more sturdy than this masking tape. Okay, so I'm going to start with that much. Okay, the pen does not want to go back into the glue. Okay, now we got it. Okay, I'm going to line this up on here so it's straight and down far enough, high enough. And now I will take my bone folder and go in here and make sure that part stuck down really well. I use this brown paper, packing paper for another journal hinge that I make, and it has worked really well because it stays nice and flexible. I tried using cardstock and craft paper on that other hinge. It's a piano hinge, and they were just way too stiff. So I'm going to make sure I get this edge glued down super well. So I will add some glue along here and add some more glue out here. Go ahead and put that in here. Burnish it down really well with my bone folder. Burnish it down here well with my bone folder. As you can see, I didn't get this perfectly even, but it will create a good strong hinge even if it's not perfectly centered. Okay, so let's go ahead and I will come back with my box knife here in a second and trim this little overhang off. Fold that over for a second. Let's see here. Where's my shoulder ruler? There we go. Just to kind of neaten it up because I didn't cut it exactly the right length. So I'm just going to cut just the brown paper here, just to and I'll make sure the fabric covers that up so it won't, the little bit of raggediness there won't show too much. Of course, you know my style anyway. I tend to like things to be a bit raggedy. Trim this tape off down here. Oh. Okay. So here's the basic hinge done. Give it a pretty good size spine, and it feels really sturdy, really sturdy. I will go ahead and let's just going to use some, just some muslin here on the inside. Let's see. That's a little too wide. We'll just cover this up. Although I have to say, I kind of like the brown paper, so I don't know if I would necessarily cover it with fabric, but the fabric does add a really nice layer of strength. And let's see, I probably should use my PVA glue, but I'm going to go ahead and use my art glitter glue again too, just for accuracy and speed here, since I'm making the video. And I'll do this the same way I did the inside. And when you do use the art glitter glue on fabric, the same thing if you use Fabri-Tac. You could use Fabri-Tac here if you wanted to also. I'm not crazy about Fabri-Tac because it's stinky and I just don't care for it, but the art glitter glue is not. So just kind of smush it a little bit. Oopsie. Try not to spread it all over your cover. Okay, so let me go ahead and put this down here. Make sure it comes up high enough to hide my raggedy edges at the top. Take my bone folder and burnish it in here. Looks like it did fairly well. I may have a little bit of bleed through there, but I'm going to put some accordion pockets, I think, in the front and back of this particular book, so I think we'll be okay. Probably also use like an Elmer's Gold glue for this, because I believe that is a kind of a watered down version of PVA glue, if you don't have anything else. I don't know if glue stick would hold the fabric well enough. Down here. Catch most of my raggedy edge there. Oh, I did. Okay. Let's make sure this is good and burnished. And when this is good and dry, I'll come back and I will fray the edges, the top and bottom edge of my fabric, because I like that kind of fringy look on my spines. But here we go. Then the other side will be exactly the same way, but I think maybe I'm going to use different fabric when I finish this. But this gets you to, you've seen all of the basic steps now, and good and strong. There we go. The hardcover book with a soft spine. And hopefully everything I told you makes sense. If not, please let me know down in the comments if you have any questions. And I appreciate you joining me today. I hope you'll join me again in the future. And I will say bye-bye for now.